Prime's exclusive wildcard playoff game is Saturday night. Jordan Love and the Packers take on Caleb Williams and the Bears. Not a Prime member? Sign up for a 30-day free trial to stream the game.
That's going to be caught for the touchdown.
NFC North rivals square off in the latest chapter of the NFL's oldest feud. The Packers and Bears in Prime's exclusive wildcard playoff game. Saturday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, only on Prime. Sign up for a 30-day free trial today. Restrictions apply. See Amazon.com/Amazon Prime for details.
Welcome to DSC's Campfires with Larry Weishuhn, a unique blend of hunting, fishing, wildlife conservation, and the outdoor lifestyle. DSC's Campfires is brought to you by DSC, Conservation, Education, and Advocacy. Hornady, accurate, deadly, dependable. Taurus, award-winning revolvers and pistols. Stealth Vision, high-tech, precision-driven equipment for today's modern hunter. Red 55 Winery, signature wines from Emmy Award-winning country artist Miranda Lambert, owned by Rick and Beverly Lambert. And the Choctaw Hunting Lodge, home of some of the finest hunting in North America. Now, here's Larry.
Sitting here with Mr. Cyle Foley and Mr. Craig Archer in the TBD Outdoors Hunting Camp. We determined that was to be the name of the new operation here this morning, and so we're sitting here, and Cyle, you have just been cooking up a storm, even though you've been out helping me on so many things out in the field. Let's talk a little bit about camp cooking. What is it that you like about cooking in a hunting camp?
It's just nostalgia. I mean, it brings back warm, good memories. Just the food we make, it seems to tie a whole hunt together. You know, from breakfast, usually it's quick and simple.
Right.
To lunch, which is usually made breakfast. And then something really hearty at dinner, because you're on the go the whole time. And so you need those calories, you need that fat, you need that protein to get you going. And the old guys knew that. They were making biscuits and gravy and chicken fried steak or well, actually chicken fried venison. If they were lucky, they always had a camp doe or a camp deer.
Yeah.
You know, then they cooked off of that. So it just reminds me of where we come from and puts my feet on the ground.
Of course, both of you guys grew up pretty much in South Texas or around the South Texas area, and where hunting was very strong and a very strong tradition in so many different ways. And I know a little bit about your ancestors as well, too, because I got to spend time around them who were game wardens and very much involved in the outdoors in so many different ways. And some of those hunting camps were not very elaborate when you got right down by today's standards. I mean, we're here in Craig's home, and but some of those were pretty Spartan when you got right down to it. Everything from wall tents to maybe an old lion shack, and maybe the cooking utensils that they had probably were cast iron skillets and Dutch ovens and wood-burning stoves a lot of times, too. That, to me, plays into all this as well, too. Greg, you spent time here on the ranch a lot with hunters. How important is the food as far as you're concerned when it comes to hunting?
In my opinion, it's a staple of what wants to bring people back. The hunting's always great.
Right.
I mean, that's a plus, you know, but they're already expecting that. But whenever you add in those couple of meals a day that are just, I'm not going to say we're not, I've always said it, we're not 5-star, we're not trying to be 5-star.
No.
But what we are somebody that wants to give you something that's old-fashioned, home-cooked, and sticks to your ribs kind of a deal. So, yeah, I mean, to me, that's the bring-back factor. That is 100% what people want to have.
I found myself sitting in a deer blind or out there and going, oh my God, I'm not really hungry, but I couldn't wait to see what we're going to have when we got back, because I knew how absolutely delicious the food has been the whole time. And you keep coming up. You like bake too, I noticed, because we had cookies and we had cobbler that was the finest cobbler I've ever had anywhere, and the food pretty much was the same way every day I'm going, my God, this is the best way I've ever had this prepared. What got you into cooking? We talked a little bit about the background, but where did you learn about all this stuff, Kyle?
I've just been around a lot, fortunately, have been around a lot of really exceptional people who have cooked for so long. My great-grandmother, my grandmother, my mother, they were all super excellent cooks when it came to home style or even some things a little more fancy.
Right.
And one point in time in my life, I did get extremely lucky and had a roommate that was a French chef. And he taught me how to balance the spices with the meat and flavor profiles and not how to make a dish, but how to look at what you have to make a dish.
Right.
Instead of trying to, make a broiled chicken and, you don't have, all you have is steak.
Yeah.
It's not going to work out. But the other thing is, food is kind of a way we connect with people. When you can get around a table and people are eating and talking and discussing things, there's a lot of walls that come down. And so one of my jobs here, and Craig shares in this too, but our job is to feed you so you're happy. And like he said, we're not trying to be 5-star. The meals are relatively simple, but we try to execute them perfectly. Instead of step out of the role of, okay, I've got to make this or that, into the role of, I'm going to make this, this, and this, and I'm going to make it better than anybody else. And that's what we try to do.
And you do.
Thank you.
And you do. Now, I sat in the deer blind, and you sent goodies with me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh, my gosh, were they good. The banana bread, some of the cookies that you sent, I mean, the breakfast burritos that you made. Oh, my.
Those don't always go to everybody, just to let you know.
Oh,
You're kind of a special individual
really?
on that.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, then forget, guys, if you listen to this and you want to come hunt here, they have fabulous food, but bring your own snacks.
Oh, no, we'll have snacks for you.
We'll have snacks for you. We're going to be good.
But again, to me, the food that you prepared here has just been out of this world good. It's so delicious. And of course, every meal that we've had, there's been a whole lot of stuff left on the table, and we left. If you went away from here hungry, that would be somebody's own fault kind of thing. But the baking part and that you do here is just phenomenal. I'm telling you, the cookies, and even if maybe you don't do those for everybody, but I feel very fortunate to have had those. But my God, that stuff is good.
Well, thank you. We generally try to have something like that.
Right.
It may not be. You got really lucky as I had a lot of bananas.
We did. I noticed
It's kind
that.
of dark, and we wanted to get rid of. And so it's you will get some of that. You will
Right.
get a dessert. You more than likely will get a cobbler, and as you know, I put that together and really enjoy making that. Because that brings me back to remembering my grandmother.
Right.
And my great-grandmother and my mom, and learning from them about how to make berry cobblers versus fruit cobblers versus
Right.
whatever. And it's a labor of, I hate to say a labor of love. Everybody says that, but really
But it is, yeah.
Yeah, and when you're cooking for, the people we have here have been amazing. They're all top-notch people. And when you get to cook for those people, it just makes you want to make them happy even more.
Right, exactly.
And so it's all about bringing everybody together, and food does that. And we get guys that come in here, and I have people tell me, like, man, I ate this, and it just reminded me of my granddad, and, and like,
Right.
and I'm thinking all I did was just make a soup, or
Right.
a stew, or we grilled some chicken, and that just reminds me of this, and that's what we're trying to do. We're just trying to bring it back to the time when families hunted together, your best friend, all your friends got together and went on a hunt, and they got to eat good food. They got to see amazing country with quality animals and just a number of them, the sheer number of animals. No pressure on them, no No, you got to get in that and get that deer taken. We don't pressure you.
No.
We let you take your time on picking out the animal that you want. Now, that goes without saying, we're a low fence operation, so sometimes you might want to go ahead and if you look at that deer and go, I should take that one, you should take it.
If you see him, you like him, you really ought to take him because the chances that he's coming back, and particularly during the time frame that we're hunting, we're kind of hunting right now, kind of the tail end of the rut, and these bucks are settling down a little bit, but a lot of the hunts you guys do too are here about the peak of the rut, and that's too so you can see more animals and a variety of them. But these animals here, I think this open country has a tendency for those animals to roam over a much larger area than if you do where you in hunting in woods like a lot of people do toward the east. And so there's a lot to be said about that, of taking that animal when you have that opportunity.
Yes, and the ranch that we hunt on is quite large.
Yes.
I mean, for Texas standards, it may be a little small, but it's a combined, I think, around 12,000 acres.
Yeah,
and
that's big.
Yeah, that's big. And one part of it we call the 9 sections is 9 sections.
Yes.
That's a large piece of property.
It is.
And it's not uncommon to see a deer on one end, and the next morning see him at the other end.
Far side,
or
yes,
vice versa. Or see him in the morning at the far blind that we have the furthest on this side of the ranch.
Right.
And next weekend, the next morning or afternoon hunt, you see them at the next blind over here. They do what they want. They don't listen to us giving directions.
No, you're right. Or yes, you're right. They do not do as we want them to. And of course, the beauty of some of this country is here too, beside it being really big and great habitat. Even though the guy who's been hunting in the forest of the east would look at it and go, there ain't a deer in this country. Well, you may have forest. We've got grass forest here. When you get right down to it, a little bluestem, it's about shoulder high in different places, and shin oak and all those kind of things. But also, y'all have been on a good management program here for a long time now. That pays off in terms, too, of livestock managing, because this country is prone to droughts at time, and if you do both right, both the cattle and the livestock can benefit. Now, one of the things that I know there's a lot here are quail. Mm-hmm. And the owners, they really like hunting quail, among other things. But the quail population here that I saw this year, we couldn't drive over anywhere in the ranch hardly without jumping a covey of quail. You sit in the stand, and there'd be a covey coming in from this side, this side, this side. So let's talk a little bit about cooking quail. Do you like to eat quail?
Oh man, yes sir. I love quail. I can eat my body weight in quail, and the preparation for quail can be as simple or complex as you wish. But the bird takes spices well. It takes a sweet, and you can even do a sweet and savory kind of deal with it. It takes deep frying well.
Yeah,
that's a bonus right there. Everybody makes this joke of, well, if it looks like it's tough to eat in the South, they just fry it. Well, the quail, when we used to in South Texas, we used to have big quail cooks.
Yes,
and if you were fortunate to go on the hunt, you got to participate in the hunt and you got to eat the quail, and it was amazing. But they would do a blended presentation, as I call it, where they would deep fry the quail and just get the outside done enough, and then they would put it in gravy and pour the gravy over the top and put a lid on it and just smother them.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh!
I've had it that way.
And you could take the little legs off those quail. They cooked the whole quail.
Right.
It was not breast. It was the whole quail. You could take those little legs and just pull them, and they pop right off, and you could just rake the meat off with your teeth, and it was just so tender and flavorful. Oh my gosh! Craig, we gotta go kill some quail this afternoon, buddy.
I was raised and that always, and people would always, whenever they would kill a quail, they just take that lower part and the legs and they would toss them off to the side. Well,
Yeah.
I was always taught that those legs are the hors d'oeuvres of the quail.
Ooh, yes.
So whenever you cook them, a lot of times, like if we're doing the scalies, we would take and we'd actually cut those off the bird, and we would actually cook them as a hors d'oeuvre.
Oh, really?
Prior to
Yeah.
the actual meal of the actual bird, so you would actually get that flavor going on as well. So yeah, there's many ways and many things that people forget about, but it's Yes, we're going to have to go kill some birds.
Well, from what I saw,
Although, if we're trying to eat our body weight in quail, I don't know if we got enough quail out here for everybody.
I don't think we got enough shotgun shells.
we may not have enough shotgun shells out here.
That's for sure. That's for sure.
You've got enough quail, I can tell you.
Wow.
And you do have there are bobwhite here primarily, I guess, but there are a few scaled or blue quail here too, aren't
Yeah,
there?
we have both. Yes, sir. We do.
Because I was listening that there was one of the male blue quail calling the other morning at that far west stand over there. When I first heard it, I thought, man, that sounds like a blue quail. Well, maybe it's a squirrel back in there. And then I thought, no, that was a blue quail. So
We don't have squirrel. They'd have to live in the blue stem.
I tell you what, as tall as that blue stem is, they may make a holler on the top of that thing.
Right.
Woo.
we're talking about food here. I want to switch to something that's kind of dear to me. All of us that are around this table here, the three of us, we all dealt with cattle when we were young, and you continue to do so to a great extent too. Craig, how important is it that and I'm back before I say this, is as a wildlife biologist, so very often I'll find somebody that come to me and says, I just bought this place, wherever it is. And first statement they'll make after that is, well, I promise you this much, there'll never be another cow on the property. I know how I feel about that. How do you feel about that? And we're talking food, so cattle eat just like deer and everything else, but what's your opinion of that based upon your experiences?
I'll tell you what, to be honest with you, it's something that everybody, when they make that decision, and it can be detrimental to both sides. Everything out there needs to be grazed. It needs to be, brought back down to a normal controlling level, because what happens is if you're saying, okay, well, I'll never want another cow on that again. Well, okay, that's fine. Well, you need those cattle trampling the ground. You need those cattle out there to eat that older vegetation. And that older vegetation is also going to bring on new vegetation, which is a lot more tender, which is what the wildlife are looking for. The wildlife are going to walk by all that old vegetation. You don't feed them the things that a rancher does that causes them to want to stimulate that rumen to go eat.
Right.
So, to me, that it has to be a good balance.
Right.
But so many people, with the way things are today, they've made it where it's almost a challenge. We hear everybody complaining about the cost of beef. We hear everybody complain about the cost of hunts. Well, you know what? There's a way to balance that, and we can lower it all, and we can all make everybody happy in the long run.
Exactly.
But in order to do that, you need to have parameters on everybody. And, the first thing a hunter's going to say, well, dadgum, if I have those cattle out here, I got a fence around my feeders, and wham. You know what? Get over it. You know what? Make a deal with the rancher. If you want to run cattle on here, you fence around my feeders.
Right.
But I got a parameter on how big I want those feeder pens as well.
Yes, you do.
Well, no, those feeder pens are not going to keep your deer out. They're going to jump over and they're going to go in there no matter what they do. Yes, it's going to keep cows out of there. So there's always ways to do everything, but you need to put a limit on how many cattle you want run. You need to put a limit on what time of the year you want them run. And do. But if you want to do this, then base it off of stuff like, based on the average rainfall, based on the rainfall that we get. There's going to be years that you maybe don't need to run cattle on that place. Right. That's okay.
Yeah.
But, as the hunter says, well, I'm going to hunt this place. Well, that's also detrimental because the hunters aren't hunting the foxes, and they're not hunting the coyotes, and they're not hunting the bobcats. So therefore, you're hurting your population of your quail. You're hurting your population of fawns by not taking those things. For a fact, I've said it a million times here. My rule is, if a coyote comes out, you better kill him. If I find out you didn't kill a coyote because you were waiting on a deer, you're in trouble.
You're in trouble.
Because you know what? We manage every aspect of that population. Right. And it's a constant thing. We hunt them year round. We do that. We do bobcats. We do everything. it all has to work together. That's where I'm going to go with it. If you want to be best, then you've got to work with everybody. You've got to figure out ways to maintain every aspect of the grazing and of the vegetation for the wildlife, and figure out how to make it the best of the best.
Enough said. That's the bottom line right there. You're exactly right. We were this morning, I did a radio show for KETR with Luke Clayton, and in it we were talking about y'all setting up this as a hunting operation. Now, you've hunted this property in the past, but primarily but now you and Cyle are hooking up together on this, and we have a new name for this operation, which is
TBD outdoors.
To be determined.
See, I'm stumbling all over it because I haven't determined what I'm trying to say yet. It's so fresh, I can't even form it.
I got tickled because I was visiting with Luke. Luke says, "Well, what do they call an operation?" I said, "I'll call you back in a little bit. I've got to talk to Cyle and Craig." And so they were sitting there going, let's just call it this, by golly. So,
I mean, you have all the whole staff of TBD here at one time. You might as well go ahead and take advantage of it. You got us both right here. No phone calls needed to get permission.
Yep, you got the extent of the whole deal right here.
And I know we've talked a lot about y'all's philosophy as far as the hunts are concerned and all those kind of things, and you're going to do it's not a wholesale. There's not going to be a whole lot of folks coming out here, be able to come out here, quite frankly. So, but you are going to be doing a few commercial hunts to where, like a package hunt, if you will, that includes whatever number based upon deer, whatever, based upon what your surveys and everything determine. And then, of course, the food and the lodging is out of this world good here as well, too. But if somebody, do you want to give a phone number or anything like that in case? And I can testify that this is a class operation, and I've been fortunate to have hunted out here with Craig in years past as well, too. And I've seen how his management program works and how it's progressing. Do you have a phone number that you want to give, or you just want to hold off on some of that?
No, I mean, I'll give a phone number, and I ask that everybody, you can call, leave me a message, or leave me a text, because most of the time, as you know, there's not real great service wherever I go play at. So
sometimes there's just no service.
Yeah. So, but no, they can call or text at 806-860-3747. Or they can call Kyle's number at
817-471-9837.
I'm going to ask you to repeat that number, and then I'll ask you to do the same thing, and we'll get it in our show notes as well, too.
Sure, no problem. It's 817-471-9837.
And yours, Craig?
806-860-3747.
And the same goes for me. Please, if you don't get me, leave me a message, please, because my phone is notorious for turning into a 1920 model wall hanger out here. You might as well just, we really do have a landline here too. Believe it or not, the last one I've ever seen. I don't know the number, but it's here. I've heard it ring before.
It's just for looks.
It's just for looks.
But I can make it ring by calling that number.
Okay. Well, the one thing that I will attest, this is a class operation. And oh, my God, if you happen to catch both Craig and Cyle here at the same time, be prepared. Not only is the food outstanding, the company is outstanding, and you will be laughing so hard that you'll sit in that deer blind, you go, oh, my God, this side of my body hurts so bad because I spent the whole time laughing as those two were going after each other and telling stories. And my gosh, you get here, if you're any kind of person at all, you'll be part of the family very, very quickly.
You did tell them we were cousins, right?
I know I didn't tell them I didn't tell them yet. They are cousins, and again, I know that side of the family where you guys are cousins. So, and what a great family from word go and all those kind of things. And I understand how you guys ended up being the good kind of upright people that you are, kind of thing, based on knowing those folks as well too. But this is a great operation. There's probably only room for about 5 or 6 hunters that will come in every year, and they do hunt some family members and some friends and things like that. But I can tell you, if you're a paying customer, you will be absolutely treated like a king, and hunting the best properties and the best places on those properties with every effort made to help you as best that they can to get you in a position for the game that you're after. And there's some really good deer here, guys. And I'll tell you something, the young bucks that I've seen as a wildlife biologist, knowing that in another year or so, these guys are going to be hunting and are just phenomenal. But if you get an opportunity and you really want to hunt some truly unique Texas country, and it's truly a Texas free-range hunt with an opportunity of taking some really big bucks and seeing a lot of game and seeing quail and seeing just some of the most unique, beautiful country available, this is the place that you want to come to. So, and if you have any problem getting in touch with those guys, you can send me get in touch with me through the podcast or something else, and we'll get you in touch. And I'm planning on coming back, and possibly if you'd like to, we can all be here about the same time. But Craig, Kyle, thank you so much for a fabulous hunt. Thank you for your company. Thank you for your friendship more than anything else. And we'll ask to have everybody join us right back here next week on DSC's Campfires. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next week right back here.
DSC's Campfires with Larry Weishuhn has also been brought to you by The Crown Bar in LaGrange, Texas, the Texas Wildlife Association, Double Nickel Taxidermy, and Burnham Brothers Game Calls.